Question: when operating a gas wall unit or a set of gas logs, which may have I think they may call it a standing pilot, I'm not certain. But anyway, it's got a flame that just stands around. Some people may refer to it as a standing pilot. The question is, we often see the term off pilot, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or hotter or cold or whatever, on the knob, whether it be a gas hot water heater, whether it be just a simple wall unit, or whether it be a set of gas logs with the old standing pilot, which I actually, my opinion is, I'm kind of biased, and I actually like them. I like more simple than complex. Sometimes you get more high tech. You get the electronic ignition, etc. The more electronics you put, the more bells and whistles, the more diagnosis one may have to do to find the problem and to begin to assess the problem and in order to rectify the problem. So the question is, this is a simple term many people see often on it, but sometimes we overlook what the actual meaning is. And I'm not certain where it comes from. I may have to look this up myself. But it's like a pilot, and so we flip this from off to pilot, so it's actually flush with the air of the pilot here. So cutting to the chase, so essentially when we press this button down, we press this down. When we press this down, then we have the igniter button. Now, it may look different on different units. What it does, this button here essentially gives you a spark. So this button here thinks, when you see the pilot, the knob with the pilot on it, think gas. When you think over here, think fire. So spark. So now, what happens, and one may press this button, one may know what to operate, but they're not certain what this may do. But essentially what this pilot does, in my opinion, now I may be wrong, if somebody has more insight, please do add that to the comments, because we all share knowledge and we all grow together. It's not, all knowledge is not breeded in one head, so it's better to share information. But basically, when we put this on pilot here, we go something along the lines of here. So this knob may look different. It may look different on your hot water heater, but it's the functionality is somewhat similar. So now we press this down. Now here is the answer to the conundrum. What is actually a pilot? One may not be able to hear it, but I can hear it from my left ear. What essentially I'm doing when I press this down, I'm essentially holding the regulator and allowing gas to go through the regulator. So effectively, one can think of the regulator, just an analogy, think of it as like a dam, and the dam is holding the water back. So just now, this is just a fictitious example, and trying to simplify real world complicated situations to real world applications. So now we open this up. So we hold this down. Effectively, we're opening the dam, but in this case, we're opening the gas regulator. So I can actually hear the gas here. So simultaneously, when I do this, I go over here and I press this. And what happens? One, it's difficult for one to see, but actually there is a pilot. Now, if the weather is cold, let me reiterate, I just did a video. The colder the temperature and the longer one has been away from this and not used the unit, be sure to hold the pilot, because if you release the pilot quickly, the flame will flame out on you, and it's not a big deal if it does. It just means you've got to repeat the cycle and continue the cycle. But if you'll hold it down for a minute or two and let the flame, because the flame, we will deal with that in a different video, but essentially the flame goes back to the regulator and helps hold the regulator open. So it's hot enough now, so I release this. I look down here and it's difficult to see, but in there, the pilot is on. So now I know the pilot is on, so I just rotate this to a 1, and one may or may not be able to see the flame, but anyway, this is the flame. So this video to answer this question, what is a pilot and what is like on a standing pilot? Essentially, when we press this pilot button, my opinion is we're opening the gas valve. So just think of that gas valve as like a dam. It's holding the water back. We press the button, the water comes through, but in this case, we press the button and the gas comes through. So then we go over here after having held that button for X amount of time, and we hit the igniter, the sparker. This gives us a little spark, like a match, so to speak. That's just another analogy, but it gives a spark. So sparking gas equals fire. So this is what the answer to the question, what are we doing when we press the pilot button? We're actually manually holding the regulator open. Once it gets hot enough, it's able to hold the regulator itself. And at this point, you can release this button and rotate it to whatever flame you want. A smaller flame, a larger flame, and a largest, and to the largest. In this case, the range is 1 through 5. So again, let's reiterate. What are we doing when we press the pilot button? Essentially, we're holding the gas valve open. If we hit the striker, no gas, we have no fire. If we have gas and hit the striker, the pilot lights, and then the unit works, if everything working properly. So essentially, this is what a pilot light does. If you find any of these real-world applications useful, any tips that may help you, please share, like, and subscribe to the channel. And thank you for watching, and have a wonderful day.